Hello students, welcome to this session. I've just solved this NEET test 109 and here I am with the analysis of the physics section. So here only one question I can regard it tough, that you also not still feel tough. 2 questions as printing errors, 18 are medium, 24 questions are easy. So all in all a very balanced paper. You can always do this. Just remember, always in NEET there are almost 35 to 40 questions in easy to medium category that you can always do, and here also you have more here. So again, it's not a tough paper. You should score, and as by my logic 24 and half of that 9, 33 questions you must do. 33 means that 33 is 124 marks, so you should get 120 marks exactly in this paper if you are decent enough in physics, and if you are very good, this is a paper again to 160 170 plus you can score. Now first question: if the radius of the first orbit of the hydrogen atom is 0.53 angstrom, then the de Broglie wavelength of electron in the ground state of the hydrogen atom will be. So you know from the de Broglie explanation of the Bohr model that 2 pi r is always equals to n lambda for the standing wave condition, and then n equal to 1 we get this de Broglie wavelength equal to 2 pi r, which is 2 pi into 0.53 angstrom, that is it would be 6.6 times something, 6 point something times, so it would be 3.33 angstrom if you calculate. The wavelength of light from the spectral emission line of sodium is 589 nanometer. The kinetic energy at which a neutron will have the same de Broglie wavelength. So this lambda for neutron, and the kinetic energy you can write as root 2 mk. So the kinetic energy would be h square upon 2m lambda square. That is 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 whole square. Electron, the mass of neutron approximately, let's say 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 order, that we remember roughly. And that lambda square, if we do, lambda square is 589 nano, that means 10 to the power minus 9 whole square. So if I take the powers, first of all it would be 6.63 into 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 68. Here you will have 2 into, let me write it as 5 by 3 into 589 into 589 into 18 and 27, 27 and 18, you will get as 3745. So what we are leaving with 6845, that is 10 to the power minus 23 into this 6.63 into 6.63 upon this 10 by 3 into 589 into 589. So approximately, let's say if I do this 5.89, we have 10 to the power minus 4 also coming, so 10 to the power minus 27, so it would be 10 to the power minus 28 something, I suppose that would be the answer. And going by this, what would be the digit? So if I try to guess that digit, this 6.63, 589, let's say it is approximately, let's say if I take it as 6, and it would be, let's say 36, 12, 120 by 40. So it would be approximately 1 by what we can say, less than 1 by 4. So it would be, let me calculate. So on calculating, this comes near about as 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 28 joule. Go for option A in this particular case. That is what you will get here. Next one: bomb of mass 9 kg explodes into 2 parts. One part of mass 3 kg moves with a velocity of 16, and the kinetic energy of the other part will be. So let's say one part is 3 kg, one part is 6 kg. When they will go in opposite direction, momentum will be same. So kinetic energy inverse of mass. So I can say kinetic energy of 6 kg to kinetic energy of 3 kg would be in the ratio 3:6. So kinetic energy of the 6 kg one would be half of this kinetic energy of 3 kg, that is half into 3 into 16 square. That is 1 by 4 into 3, 16 square is 256. So it is 64 into 3 comes out as 192 joules. Go for option A. Next one: the coordinates of the center of mass of the following quarter circle is going to be. So for this quarter circle, you know the coordinates will be, for this quarter circle from symmetry you can say it will lie at this 45-degree line, and the y coordinate from symmetrically you can make it out would be same as that you had for this what we call as a semicircular ring, and that you remember as 2r by pi. So both will be 2r by pi comma 2r by pi. So directly go for option C in this particular case. No need to integrate, you just remember that semicircular ring and use that analogy. Next one. Aeroplane flying at a velocity of 900 km per hour loops the loop. If the maximum force pressing the pilot against the seat is 5 times its weight, the loop radius will be. So maximum force, we will say the seat will press when would be, it would be lowest point, and that I can write n minus mg would be equal to mv square by r. So that n would be mg plus mv square by r you can write. So that is 5 mg. So clearly mv square by r would be equal to 4 mg. So v would be coming out as root 4 gr, that is what you will have. So 4 into 10, and what we have, okay, we have to find not velocity we are searching for radius. So radius would be v square by 4g. So 900 into 5 by 18 meter per second conversion divided by 40. So 18 is 50, 50 into 5 250, 250 into 250 by 40. So this basically comes out as 250 into this would be, I can write as 6.25. So it would be greater than 1500, it would be 1594 as per this option. Go for option A. Next one. Solenoid 30 cm long is made by winding 2000 loops of wire of an iron rod whose cross-sectional area is this. If the relative permeability is 600, what is the self-inductance? So L you can write as mu naught mu r into small n square into AL, that or total n square into A by L, small n square A into L, whatever you write. So mu naught into mu r is mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7, this is 600. This n square, that is 4 into 10 to the power 6, I can directly write. Area is 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 4, length is 30 into 10 to the power minus 2. So what we can do, this is 30, this would be 20, minus 7, 6 and 1, 7. So this goes, this would be 10 to the power minus 2 if I do, and this is 4 pi into 4 into 1.5, that is 6. 6 4s are 24 pi or 0.24 pi I can write it as. So 0.24 pi, that is 0.24 into 3.14. So what you will have, this would be approximately, okay, this 2 was also there, so this is 2 into 2, sorry. So it is 0.48 into 3.14, that is half of 3.3, that would be approximately 1.5. Going by these options, it would be approximately 1.5 Henry. You can go for next. The VI graph for parallel and series combination of two metallic resistors are shown, which corresponds to which combination. So we know resistance is given by V by I, that is slope of this curve. So slope is greater for B, that means this is series. So B is series and parallel one would be A. So parallel combination is represented by A here. Next one. Resistor of 6 kilo ohm with tolerance 10%, another resistance of 4 kilo ohm with tolerance 10% are connected in series. The tolerance of the combination is going to be, so what we say, R series is R1 plus R2. So I can directly say delta R would be delta R1 plus delta R2, that is what we can say, and divided by R from both the sides, or you can write it delta R simply. So delta R, you will have delta R1, 10% of this, 10% of this means 0.6 kilo ohms, and this would be 0.4 kilo ohms, that is 1 kilo ohm. And the effective value of R that you expect is 10 kilo ohm. So 1 kilo ohm uncertainty in 10 kilo ohm, so it corresponds to a tolerance of 10% here. Next one. The capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with air as a medium is 3 microfarad. With the induction of a dielectric, that it becomes 15. The permittivity of the medium is, that means the dielectric constant is 5. So if dielectric constant is 5, the permittivity would be epsilon naught into K, that is 8.85 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 12. So this is 5 5s are 25, where this is 42 4. So 44.25 into 10 to the power minus 12, or 0.44 into 10 to the power minus 10. You can go for this option. Next. Electron proton are situated in uniform electric field. The ratio of their acceleration will be, acceleration is q e by m, q magnitude is same, e is same, so acceleration is inverse of mass, so ratio of their acceleration would be inverse, that is ratio of masses of proton and electron. Next one. Square metal loop, side 10 cm, resistance 1 ohm, is moving with constant velocity partly inside a magnetic field directly into the paper. Loop is connected to a network of 5 resistors, each of value 3 ohm. So it's a balanced Wheatstone bridge, and no current will flow in it, and equivalent is 3 ohm. and the E induced you can directly say that is BVL. B is 2, V is V need to find out, so into V, and length is 0.1. This would be equal to I into, now there will be an internal resistance also, so that would be R plus R. This R is the external load which we say as 3 ohm, so 3 plus 1 would be 4 ohms, and this is 1 milliampere, and this is 4 ohms. This is 0.2 V, so V comes out as 4 upon 0.2, that is 40 by 2, 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter per second. You can call it as 2 centimeter per second. Go for option C in this case. Next one. A square wire frame of side A is placed at a distance B away from a long straight current carrying conductor I. Frame has a resistance R, self-inductance L. The frame is rotated by 180 degree about O dash as shown in figure. Find the electric charge flown through the frame. So electric charge you can directly say would be delta phi by R. That is what we can directly say, that is going to be delta phi by R. Now what is delta phi? So initially this was the flux, finally this is the flux. So phi initial, if I have to calculate using that element thing, going at x, taking it as a dx, so that phi would be mu naught I upon 2 pi x, that is the field, into that length would be A into dx, and the limit was going from what we can say B minus A to B, that was the limit. So it was mu naught I A upon 2 pi, and it would be ln B upon B minus A. This is the initial flux. Final we will say is mu naught I A upon 2 pi, and this whole terms changes. Now the distance will vary from initial is B to B plus. If you look it carefully, because of this turning sense, the area vector sense is inverted 180 degree. So instead of subtracting here the change in flux, I can say because of the opposite direction it will basically be phi final plus phi initial, that it will come out. And so if I add them up, the change would be mu naught I upon 2 pi, and if in the log we add, it would be multiply, so BB will cancel out, it would be ln B plus A upon B minus A. So directly this Q would be this divided by R, so we'll go for option C here. So just remember the directions are opposite, so instead of subtracting we will add them. Next one. What is the binding energy of the Earth-Sun system neglecting the effect of other planets and satellites? So binding energy of the Earth-Sun system neglecting the effect of other planet and satellites, you have to find out. Okay. So this is the mass of both the given distances given, assuming circular orbit of Earth around Sun. So directly we can write binding energy, like let's say in the case of satellite that we write, that is minus gmm by 2r. So it would be minus 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, mass of both 6 into 2, 12, 12 into 10 to the power 54 I can do. This is 2 into 1.5 into 10 to the power 11. So 54 minus 22, 54 minus 22 would be 10 to the power 32, and into this is 12 by 3, 4 into 6.67. So that would be the value. So 4 into 6, that will be what do we have, 24 and 26. I think this would be the option coming out, 2.6 into 10 to the power 33 joules. Negative sign is for attraction, so magnitude is D. Go for it. Next one. One goes from the center of the Earth to a distance 2/3 the radius of the Earth. The acceleration due to gravity is highest at, it is highest at a distance half the radius of the Earth, 1/3 of the radius of the 2/3 of the radius of Earth. We will say inside the Earth, G varies, and here it decreases. So if you go from 0 to 2r by 3, as you are going, G is continuously increasing. So maximum at this value out of all those 4. At center, it is 0. On observing light from 3 different stars P, Q, R, it is found that intensity of violet is maximum in P, green in R, and red is in this. So directly from Means law, lambda mt is constant, so lesser the lambda, greater the temperature. So violet one will have the maximum temperature, red one will have the least of the temperature. So it's an easy one for you. Go for option A. You can red is for Q, sorry, red one is the least one, not R. R is not for red, red is for Q. So Tp greater than Tr greater than Tq. Go for option B here. Next one. Ideal gas 1 atm 27 degree compressed adiabatically until the pressure becomes 8 times the final temperature would be. So what we can make it out, we know the formula that we know is P1 minus gamma T to the power gamma remains constant. So P1 T1 V2 is P2 1 minus gamma T to the power gamma. So T2 would be T1 into P1 upon P2 to the power 1 minus gamma upon gamma, I can write. So T1 into, and this is P, it is compressed, so pressure will become 8 times, so it would be 1 by 8, and which is a gas, the gas is 3 by 2. So 1 minus 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2, it comes out as minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3, so I can write it as T1 8 to the power 1 by 3, or you can write it as 2 T1. 2 T1 will come out as 600 Kelvin. 600 Kelvin you write as, because that was 300, so 600 would be, you can say 327 degrees Celsius. Go for option D. Now the next one. 5 moles of an ideal monogas with an initial temperature of 150 expanded in the process absorb this heat and this work. The final temperature of the gas is, directly you can say delta U would be Q minus W, that is minus 1000, and that would be equal to NCV delta T. So N is 5, ideal mono means 3R by 2, I can write CV. Delta T I am searching for, that is minus 1000. So delta T is minus 2000 upon 15 into R is 25 by 3, this is 5. 25 I can write it as 80, so minus 80 by 5, that is minus 16 Kelvin. So it will decrease by 16 degrees, so it would be 134 degrees Celsius. Go for option A here. Work done in rotating a magnet of magnetic moment, this in magnetic field of induction from the direction along the field to the direction opposite. So we can directly say work is delta U. Delta U you write as minus MB cos theta initial minus cos theta final. So initial is 0, so it is 1, final is 180, that is minus 1, so it is 2 MB. So 2 into 2 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 3, very common question for you, 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 or 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 joules. Go for option B here. Next one. In the cyclotron, as radius of the circular path of the charged particle increases, so we know speed doesn't, the time period doesn't change, so omega won't change, but the velocity will increase, because what you know, R is mv by qb. So if R increases, V increases, but the time period is independent of both, so omega will be independent of both, so only V increases, omega is going to remain a constant. The driver of a train going at 72 kmph sights another train moving at 4 meter per second. This 72 kmph you can write it as, this would be 20, it is 20 meter per second. Moving at 4 meter per second on the same track, same direction, he instantly applies brakes to produce a retardation of a minimum distance so that no collision occurs. So for avoiding collision, speed has to be reduced to 4, because if its speed is less than 4, it won't collide in the same direction. So from 20 meter per second to reducing it to 4 meter per second at a rate of 1 meter per second square requires 16 seconds. So in 16 seconds, the distance it is going to cover, that would be, you can write as average speed 20 plus 4 by 2 into 16 you can use, or any equation for uniformly accelerated motion you remember. So it is 12 into 16, so that comes out as 192 meters. 16 into 12, yes, 192 meters. So the minimum distance between the trains so that the no collisions occurs would be 192. Okay, actually this is the displacement of the first train. Second train will also travel in 16 seconds and it will travel 4 into 16, 64 meters. So their gap, I can make it out, the relative distance, that would be 128, not 192. So we remember this, it travels 192, it travels 64, and now by the time we assume they are just near to each other, so the gap minimum would be 128. Next one. A person sitting in an open car moving at constant velocity throws a ball vertically up into the air. The ball will fall. So the car moving at constant velocity, because the car is going with constant velocity, whenever you throw, the ball will carry the history of your motion. Let's say this is the car, open car, I can imagine. So it is the velocity of ball with respect to car, so it will also carry this velocity of car. So with respect to grounded part would be parabolic, and it will land in the car itself. So it will land in the car and it will end exactly in the hand which it is threw up. If it was accelerating, then there would be a difference, but here it would be land in its hand only. 3 masses are connected as shown in figure and pulled by a force of 60. The tension T1 and T2 are in the ratio. So first of all, the combined acceleration of the system would be 60 cos 30, that is 30 upon 15 plus 12 plus 3, that is 30, which is 1 meter per second square. Now for this system, T2 is the only pulling force, so T2 is 15 into 1, acceleration 15 Newton, and similarly T1 is only pulling for 3 kg, so 3 into 1 is 3 Newton. So T1 by T2 is going to be 1:5. Go for option B here. Next one. Body of mass 5 kg starts from the origin with an initial velocity. Constant force acts the time in which the y component becomes 0. So both motion are independent. Uy is 40, Ay will be minus 5 by 5, that is minus 1 meter per second square. So it is 40, reducing it by 1. So to make it 0, you can directly say the time required would be 40 seconds. You can directly make it up. Following process is known as, this is known as what you can say, this is pair production. Both are annihilating each other in the reverse reaction. So here they are producing, the energy is converted into these two pairs. The half-life of a radioactive element X is same as mean life of Y. Initially they have same number of atoms then. So first remember, for any radioactive decay, half-life is the time when the number becomes, this T half is the time when number becomes N naught by 2, and tau is the time when it becomes N naught by E, or you can say 0.37 times N naught. So definitely in the mean life, so by the time X reduces to half, Y is reduces to 1 by E. That means Y has reduced more, that means Y is decaying faster than X, because by the time X has decayed 50%, Y has already decayed 63%. So Y is decaying faster than X. Next one. In order to measure the period of a pendulum using a stopcock, a student repeated the experiment for 10 times and noted this period. The correct way of expressing the result, that you remember, that is what you learn in the error part in the chapter you have on the class 11th. So first of all, what I will say, what is the mean time period that I will report, that would be summation of all the time period from 1 to n, whatever be the observation divided by. So here 10 observations are given. This is 3, 4, 5. I think this is 9 only. Some data is missing here. So I think there's something missing. And if I see that this one data is missing, which is 4.9. So now what if we sum them up, what we have, 9, 10, 19, 20, 29, 30, 39, 7, 12, 17, 21, 26, 31, 35, 40, 45, 49. So it is 49.9 we are getting. This is 49.9 divided by 10, that is 4.99, but because we will report only in two figures, so it would be 5.0. that would be the reported answer. Go for option B here, but the question is not complete here. Next one. Particle executes SHM with an amplitude A. The period of oscillation is T. The minimum time taken by the particle to travel half of the amplitude from the equilibrium position, we know that is equal to 0 degree to 30 degree movement for A by 2, that would be T by 12. You directly know this is option B here, T by 12. Next one. If EB represents electric and magnetic field vector, direction of propagation is given by A cross B. That's a straightforward for you. The Kmax of emitted photoelectron depends on intensity. No, it depends on frequency. Next one. In a capillary of radius r, a straight thin metal wire of radius r is inserted symmetrically, and one end of the combination is dipped vertically in water such that the lower end of the combination is at the same level. The rise of the water in the capillary level will be, so that we have H is equal to 2s upon rho g. R we typically write, so here instead of R it will become R minus R, because the effective radius will reduce because of this wire. So effective radius will become only R minus R. So you can directly go for it. Go for option C here. Next one. You have a metallic block of density 5 gram per centimeter cube having dimensions this, weighed in water, its apparent weight will be. So first of all, what would be the buoyant force on it? 555, that is 125 centimeter cube into the water density, which is 1 centimeter cube by G, into that per gram into G, which is you can write as F, you can write gram force. This will basically be the gram force. You can gram per centimeter cube, sorry. So it will become gram force. So it is 125 GF, and the actual mg of this is 125 into 5, that is 625 gram force. So the W apparent is mg minus FB, that would be 500 gram force. Go for option D in this case. Next one. You have a wave which has a velocity u in medium p, velocity 2u in q. If the wave is refracted from p to q at an angle of 30, then the angle of refraction is. So what we can say, np upon nq, you can directly say is inverse of velocity, that will become 2:1. So np into sine 30 would be equal to nq into sine of r. So sine r would be np by nq, that is 2 into sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 by 2, that is 1. So that comes out as 90 degree in this case. Ray of light passes through 4 transparent media with refractive indices as shown. The surfaces of all media are parallel. If the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray, we know in this case n sin theta remains constant. So if the emergent ray is at the same, that means let's say this n1 and n4, these are parallel, that means n1 and n4 must be equal, because if theta is same, n must be same. Again an easy one. Disk has a mass m, radius r. How much tangential force should be applied to the rim of the disk so as to rotate the disk with an angular velocity omega in time t? So in time t, the angular momentum change delta L, it was initially 0, so final would be disk means mr square by 2 into omega, and this delta L would be equal to tau into delta t. So this tau would be mr square omega by 2t, and that would be equal to, it as applied to rim, that is f into r. So f comes out as m omega r by 2t. Go for option B in this particular case. Next one. The couple produces, we know, pure rotational motion or pure only angular acceleration, no linear acceleration. For the circuit given in the figure, the equivalent where there is a circuit, I cannot find out the circuit, so I'll leave it. They are seems to be fed up with all those papers, so they are giving without any proofing. Band gap of insulator, conductor, semiconductor are this. The relation is conductor is minimum, insulator is maximum. So Eg1 is maximum and semiconductor is greater than Eg2, you can say. So go for option A. Next one. On a hilly region, water boils at 95 degree. The temperature expressed in Fahrenheit scale would be. So in Fahrenheit, what you can directly write, you have this relation. T in Fahrenheit is 9 by 5 of Tc plus 32, that is what you remember. So it is 9 by 5 into 95 plus 32, that is what you write. So it is 5, 19 9s are 9, 9s are 1, 9, 8, 9 and 18, 171 plus 32. So it is 203 degree Fahrenheit. And you know what, why the water boils at 95 degree here? Because here the pressure reduces. So lower the pressure, lower would be the boiling point. In pressure cooker, the pressure is increased and the temperature, boiling temperature is increased. So boiling occurs at a higher temperature or heating occurs at a higher temperature. So it cooks faster. Dimensional formula of magnetic permeability is. Now to how to find this dimensional formula of magnetic permeability. Now think of any formula that you can recall has this thing. So if I do let's say I can go for force one. So the force per unit length you know is mu naught I1 I2 by R. So this mu naught would be, this L and R will cancel up, so it is F by F means MLT minus 2, and this would be upon A square. So it is MLT minus 2 A minus 2. So go for option D here. Next one. The maximum number of possible interference maxima for slit separation equal to twice the wavelength in Young's double slit experiment. So what we have, D is equal to 2 lambda. We know the maximum part difference D sin theta, that would be equal to n lambda. Here if I exactly do this sin theta for maximum, n max would be D by lambda, that basically comes out as 2. But for this second one, the situation would be like this. The ray is going like this, so it won't fall on the screen, so I have to reject this n. So I'll only take n equal to 1 and 0 1, so 1 corresponding to maxima up and down, and 0, so I'll go for 3, not for 5, because 5 is not possible practically, because at 90 degree ray won't reach that screen, so go for only 3. Next one. And just remember, if it was 2.01 lambda d, then it would have been, answer would be 5, but because exact 2 lambda will go for 3. In YDAC is performed with a green light of wavelength this and this, so blue and green, sorry, okay, I was searching why green has 2. If x is the distance of fourth maximum from the central maxima, then x of blue is, so definitely we can say the maxima, the fourth maxima would be at 4 lambda d by d, so it would be greater for the greater one, that is for the green one. So green one will be at the greater, so you can go for option C directly. Next one. A string is vibrating in fifth overtone when two rigid supports 2.4 meter apart. Distance between successive node and antinode you know is lambda by 4. So since in fifth overtone, that is sixth harmonic, so sixth slope will be there. So 6 into lambda by 2 is 2.4. So lambda is 4.8 by 6. So lambda by 4 is 4.8 by 24. So it comes directly as 0.2 meters. Directly you can go for it. So go for option B here. Next one. Two plane progressive waves having the same wavelength and same frequencies with intensity 9 and 4 superposed, resulting intensity when part difference becomes lambda by 4. You can directly say the phase difference would be 2 pi by lambda into lambda by 4, that is pi by 2. So I would be equal to I1 plus I2 plus 2 root I1 I2 cos phi. Cos of pi by 2 is 0, so this is simply I1 plus I2, that is 39 odd. Go for option A in this particular case. Next one. Body moves from a position R1 to R2 under the influence of the force. The work done is definitely, it is a constant force, so displacement S is R final minus R initial. I cap, it would be minus J cap plus 9K cap. So work done is F dot S. So doing this, 4 into 1 plus 1 into minus 1 plus 6 into 9. So 16 minus 1 plus 54, that is 54, and 16 70 minus 1, that is 69 joules I am getting. Okay, there's a mistake, sorry, I have done a mistake. I was lucky that option was not there. 458 minus 4, that is 1, that is 57. If it would have been 69, I might have taken it. It is 4 into 1 is 4. Next one, last one. Under the action of a constant force, a particle experiences a constant acceleration. The power is, now power you know is F into V. F is constant but V is increasing. So it is definitely going to be, power is going to be increasing uniformly with time. So go for option C. That concludes our paper. Thanks for watching, and do join us at 7 p.m. today for the special live session.